All right, welcome in, guys, to our real estate investing property tour. We've been hosting these a lot since COVID. It's having people come, people from our community, our nationwide real estate investing community, showcase the deals that they have. And we're unique in that we don't mind sharing information of how we got it, the exit strategy, the profit. We just want to be transparent and let people know that we're nothing special. We just used our systems. We got educated, and these are the fruits of our benefits. We got one of our investors, Jose, on the line, who's done a couple. He's done a short sale with us before. He's done a flip before with us, and a wholesale. So you have a really experienced investor. I'm really excited about this one, and I want to bring out my co-hosts, which are Jason and Joe Styles and Jason McCracken, to announce uh, the guru today. Joe, Jason.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
There's
Man,
Joe.
there's Joe.
They're excited. Oh my
with
God.
With a baby in tow.
With a baby in tow.
With a baby in tow. All right. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the property tour. Let me stop my movements. Right. I just want to say how excited I am for today. Number one, the excitement. And the other thing is just knowing this guy as an investor, in this community has been interesting because I think we started around the same time, and they calling him a guru now. Right?
Yeah, it's an offensive Joe. I'm sorry. We can call you guru.
You know what? Yeah, man. They call him a guru now. This is the power of the system that we're in, right? This is the power of the system that we're in. And he's super intelligent, just on his own, just super duper intelligent. I've known him we're going on about 7 years, right? Which is pretty long. And he's done a ton of deals. And what I like about him is he's a family man, just like me. And he's always giving back, always helping people, always showing. So everybody that's on here, just be ready. Take your notes. He drops big gems, super big gems. And I'm happy to have him as a team member. All right, my boy Jose.
Go ahead, Jay. Crowd's going, wow. Contain yourselves. Go ahead. Is Jason on? Jason, you there? Jason's driving, brother.
Is Jay driving?
Jay's driving to another state. Who knows what he's doing? There he is.
I mean, you guys can kick it off. Go ahead, man. Let me do his thing.
All right. Thank you, Jason. So yeah, welcome in Jose. Follow him on Instagram, learn real estate investing. He is a full-time real estate investor and agent through and through. Welcome in, Jose.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate that. Listen, Joe, man, great introduction. I appreciate you, man. And guys, pay attention because look at Joe, man, with the baby, working, doing his thing, closing deals, running a business, and that's the power of this business. So guys got to pay attention, and that's why I got into it, and I know that's why Joe's still here and get into it. So, but one thing, I want to talk about real quickly about how I got here, and why real estate investing was what I got into. So when I got introduced to something like this, I applaud you guys because you guys are looking for this. I was not interested in real estate investing at all when I came, when I got introduced to this, and that I mentioned that to these guys yesterday, and they were shocked. They're like, "What? That's crazy." But when I got introduced to this community, man, I saw the value in the system that they had to offer, and I couldn't say no, right? And it was just an opportunity that completely just opened my mind to what's possible. And from there, I just like everyone here, I followed the rules of society. Went to school, got a degree. I was brought up by a single mom, and that's what she always told me I had to do. Right? Go to school, get a degree, get a job, and that's what I did. Graduated college, went to work, and didn't get a good job. It was 2008 at the time, and I had more debt than income. And at that time, right? So it wasn't a good situation. I started a cell phone and computer repair business. I've always been entrepreneurial, always had a business mentality. And what I realized was I didn't know nothing about business. I just saw anything, I just watched movies, saw people running businesses, but I never had any experience in it. So I didn't know the ins and outs. And I found myself in a situation where I was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, right? Which was something I seen my mom do my entire life. And that was like something I wanted to get away from, quite honestly. So when I came across this opportunity and see the checks that you can make and the opportunity to make the money, and most importantly, at that time for me, it was all about the money. But what I didn't realize that the money is really gives you the ability to do the things that you want to do in your life, which was for me, and it was spend more time with the kids. And because of this business, and we built it up for several years, this whole year in COVID, since the whole COVID lockdown, we've been able to work from home and still do several deals, guys. And the ability to work from home and not have to worry about where my next check is coming from. And on top of that, we already have reserves for the year. If worst case scenario kind of hit, right? But, as a matter of fact, because of the real estate market that we're in, we actually have been getting a pay raise for the properties that we've been selling. But
Wow.
that's just a little bit about me, guys. Real quick, went through the system, went through the process, went through school, went through college as an electronics engineer, saw that I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life and found this opportunity. Or should I say this opportunity found me, and now we're here.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing your story, man. A lot of us in the same situation, trying to figure it out. Like, the story our parents told us doesn't work anymore. Get a good job and go to school and find a good city job, like my parents said, and that's it. Your life is good. Just wait, go on autopilot for 30 years, and that's it. But that's not how it works. So I'm glad you found it. I'm glad I found this community as well. So let's go into this deal. Before we go into this deal, let me go to my disclaimer. Again, as I always say, the following examples when money is made by applying real estate investing education. It is no way a representation of a typical result or another result of real estate investing education purchase or real experience. Again, I always say the same thing every week, guys. Each real estate investment results as unique as real estate itself. And with that being said, I'm going to show pictures of this beautiful property. Guys, look at this stunning property. Take pictures if you can.
Listen, this is a
Stunning.
gem.
Look how stunning it is. Can you guys see? Oh my God, look at the walls. It's immaculate.
That's a gem.
It's got air vent. I think the ceiling has got a little hole so you can get air through here. It's awesome. Of course, I'm being facetious, but you got to be able to see the diamond in the rough, right, Jose?
Absolutely, man.
Wow, stunning. Are those hardwood floors?
Awesome. So listen, people were actually squatting and living in this property for some time, man. So that couch was actually being used at some point. God. You know what I mean? People were smoking in there, had all the cigarette butts on the floor, all that kind of stuff, man.
Oh man.
And listen, there was a lot of stuff on the floor. I just leave that up to your imagination.
It's boarded up, right? That's a boarded window. That's a boarded up window.
So that's a metal door. That's a metal frame on the door, on the windows and the doors. Because this property is in Newark. And while you're showing these pictures, this property had a long story before I even got introduced to this house, right? There was squatters in there. We didn't have to deal with the squatters. The previous realtor that was actually trying to sell this house was the one that dealt with all that. I mean, we just took it over with the metal frames and doors, so forth. But yeah, that house was sitting there vacant for 5 years, man, 5 or 6 years.
Wow, is that a big fork?
That's in Newark. That's in Newark, New Jersey. Yes, it is Newark, New Jersey.
Oh my God! All right. So before we do that, you said you have a video, right? You want to share with us, Jose?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Do you guys want to watch the video?
Yeah. Show the video. Show them the video.
Let's see here. Can you guys see my screen with the video?
I see. Yep, I see it now.
You guys see the video?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is the property right here. This used to be an oil tank right there. See that? You guys can call those people up, man. The Simple Tank, good guys, good company. So the house basically needs the whole siding and everything done. This whole thing it still is a mess, but We couldn't get access to that until, you know, we resolved the situation with the realtor and everything. But, you know, that's the company we use to go ahead and secure these properties. And let me tell you something, if you're doing business in Newark, this is a common thing. This was not our first property that we had to use these metal doors. I mean, the first time we tried to get away without using them, and it cost us heavy, man. They broke in, they took our tools, they took our piping, cost us thousands of dollars, but we learned that lesson. So, you know, this property right now is cleaned up. Remember the pictures you saw?
Yeah.
You know, we took out all the garbage, right? So that front room was, you know, could be a living room. This is a bedroom. But you guys see, man, everything is, you know, boarded up. Everything is, it's a mess, bro. The whole house needs full renovations, right? You can see there the damage that was done throughout the house from the squatters and everything like that. So that's the basement in there. I didn't go down there. But there's no piping. There's no piping. There's no water. There's no water heater. There's no furnace. There's no heat. Nothing. Right? That's been out. It's not even in the house. Also, there's not even a water meter. They took that out. Right? So as you can see, there's issues with the roof, mold, all kinds of happy things, all types of good stuff. Right? So when most people, right? When most people go ahead and walk through a property like this, you know, you got to really know what you're going to get yourself into.
Yeah.
Right. You got to really know what you're going to get yourself into, because this is expensive. Right now, we're in a market with, if you're going to gut this house and all the lumber you're going to use, it's going to be expensive. Right. So, I mean, it's a big house. It's 3 floors. You know, the main floor, they get the second floor in the attic, which has 4 bedrooms, and there's only 1 bathroom in the whole house.
1? Wow.
Yeah, 1 bathroom in the whole house. So somebody got to put a second bathroom somewhere either on the first floor or maybe in the basement. I mean, the good thing about the basement is that you could potentially finish it if you wanted to, right? But yeah, man, the whole property needs work. Right, so then that takes you to the attic right here. Didn't go in there. So listen, when I'm walking through the house, the reason I'm stopping because I want to make sure there's nobody up there. I'm stopping.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
The reason I'm stopping, I'm telling you, the reason I'm stopping is because I want to try to make sure that I don't hear any footsteps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some of you new investors out there, you're going to go to houses and hope that, you know, you're safe. Be careful on these houses.
So that's what it is. You know what I mean? So Ron was asking me, "You going to be on site doing this?" I was like, "Hell no." I'm not going to be out there doing this. You know, I'll show you a video, show you the house, and I'll be right
Listen,
here.
now that I see it, I understand, Jose. I totally understand.
Right? I mean, that's pretty much it. Right, just going down the stairs, but that's the house. You know what I mean?
It's a big house. It is a big house.
It's
1 bathroom.
It's a big house.
Wow.
It's a big house. You know, so it's a lot of opportunity for that property there.
Yeah, tons of opportunity.
Whoever's going to buy it from us.
Okay, so you're going to explain that in a minute. What strategy he's using, and how it's going to be profitable, very profitable. So the knowledge. How did you figure out? I guess again, we talked about this before. We're not born with this knowledge. How did you said you weren't even thinking about real estate, wasn't even on your scope, but now we liken you the guru. Where'd you get that knowledge from? Where'd you get, what classes or what did you take to get this information?
Listen, man, this whole journey that I'm in right now because of real estate investing, it's all because of this community, this team, and the education that I received from this great company, right? And the trainings, bar none, is I haven't taken anything else, and that just shows you the reason I don't need to take anything else, right? Because here, the first thing that I learned about was finding deals, right? Real estate foundations and deal of the decade, right? So all of those real estate essentials courses right there, deal of the decade, negotiations, real estate red flags, and creative acquisitions. All of those things play into everyday life as a real estate investor, right? If you don't know how to find deals, and you don't know what things mean, and you don't know how to negotiate, and you don't know what to watch out for, you're screwed. You're not making no money.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you're losing money. So those foundation right there, right? That without that, none of that, this deals that I do would have been possible. And then this strategy right here, man, this strategy was a short sale. And I've always, from the beginning, when I got introduced to real estate investing, I always like, well, you know what? I like short sales and foreclosures because, listen, let me tell you guys, when you're dealing with, as an investor, I don't know how many people here are new or haven't done a deal yet, or, you know, have done a deal and struggling to find the next deal, whatever it is, you need to buy houses from people that are going to sell it for a discount, right? You can't just buy, you know, one of the biggest things, the biggest mistakes people make is they're buying properties from the MLS, or they're competing with other cash buyers that are trying to buy from the MLS or Zillow.
Yeah.
Or Zillow or Trulia, anything that you're trying to buy on the open market right now. And for the most part, most real estate markets, right? But right now, specifically, if you're buying properties on the open market, you're paying too much money, right? You're already behind the game. And one of the reasons why I gravitated to short sales was because people that are in the short sale and a foreclosure, they have to sell the house. They're not worried about, in my personal opinion and reasoning behind this strategy, why I like it so much, is like they're not worried about what they're gonna make for the house, right? Because they're losing it. They're not getting any money out of it. Even if they lose it to the bank, they're not getting any money.
Yeah.
So my proposition to these homeowners is, hey, we're gonna help you not have a foreclosure in your record. And maybe we can get you a couple grand at the closing, so you can move on with your life and relocate or whatever you got to do. Put some money, a little money in your pocket, and call it a day. If you do nothing, you got nothing.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I love foreclosures, because of that. It gives you that opportunity, that flexibility. It's different than when you're negotiating somebody that's expecting to get money from the transaction.
Yeah.
Right. So to them, they don't really care what price I pay for the house. Some of them do, but if you educate them enough and you really explain the process to them, they don't care. They just want out of the situation. So that's how you can pick up some great deals. And the next phase of that is you actually have to know what you're doing and negotiating with the bank to actually get the deal. And that's where the rehabbing comes in, right? You got to know how to negotiate with the bank and prove to them. You got to prove to them your offer, right? You got to prove to them your offer with contractor estimates, with, renovation costs, environmental issues. I mean, we used that oil tank, that got us like a $10,000 discount on that house.
Wow.
We negotiated that price because of the oil tank that was in the house.
Nice.
We didn't know if it was contamination or not, but we still used it as a excuse to lower down the price. And this is negotiation, right? You need to know all those things before you move forward, right? So fixing and flipping, that's what you need to know, right? You need to know what things cost, so you know how to negotiate.
Awesome. All these things, all these classes are not separate. They go together. They kind of compound.
And all those things, man, I learned it here. That's it. Yeah. I didn't know any of guys. I had no experience in construction. I didn't know. I still can't do construction. Don't ask me to do anything or fix anything in the house. I know what everything. I know what everything needs, but don't ask me to do it. Ask me to do it.
Me either. Or Jason. I think the three
don't
of us.
Ask me to do it, man. Listen, I have enough people in my contacts list that'll go ahead and do it, and I'll be happy to pay them to do it the right way and professionally.
Same here. Why waste the time? Like my time can be spent doing something else. Now, I'm sure you guys all jumping at the bit. You see this beautiful house that he has. Now you want to know the numbers. What do the numbers look like? What does it look like? So let's put them out of their misery. These are the numbers. And
the numbers on this property, man. The numbers on this property are right there. They're right there. So we purchased this house for $90,500. Okay, and in this market, there's no house selling in Newark, North Newark, for 90,500. You're
I
not
was gonna
buying
say,
that.
yeah.
You're not buying that at all. You can't find that anywhere, right? So the closing costs we had about, we had title costs. We had to remove the oil tank before. So that's one of the things that we do all the time, especially in these sorts of situations. But we always make sure that we remove the oil tank before we buy the house. And closing costs, inspections, right? We've been paying for those gates and metal doors to protect the property. Okay.
Gotcha.
Title fee, attorney fee, those are closing costs. Also, we have, now that we're selling the property, we're gonna have attorney fees again. We're going to have, actually, we also had in the closing costs, we had to pay about $700 for a judgment that the seller had. Okay.
Wow.
$700. She had something in her credit, a judgment that she needed to get taken care of. And luckily it wasn't a big one, right? But in these situations, guys, I'm gonna drop a big one for you guys, that in short sales, you need to do your title search up front before you submit your offer, or during the time you're submitting your offer to the bank. You need to have a preliminary title search to know what if that seller has any judgments besides the house. Because most of these, remember, these people are in a bad situation. So they've probably, by the time the foreclosure hits, they've probably been in a bad financial situation for a long time. So they might have credit card, they might have past bills, medical bills, whatever it is. And you need to know about that, because that has to get added to the offer. If not, if you don't present any of those things and you don't deduct them from the offer, you're gonna have to pay those at the closing. And you don't want to find out at the closing that all of a sudden there's a $10,000 bill, that, or whatever that bill is, that you need to pay in order to buy that house. And if you don't pay it, then you can't sell it. The homeowner can't sell it, right? The title company is not going to allow you. They're not going to provide you insurance and all that kind of crazy stuff. So you need to know those things. And on top of that, if all of a sudden the numbers don't work with that extra crazy amount, then now you don't have a deal, right? And you spend all that money doing all these inspections, all these costs for nothing. So you need to do your due diligence, not just do the due diligence, but know how to do it, and then which phase of the process to make, continue on with the process, right? So that's a big gem right there. Also, this house had about $5,000 in water bill that
Damn.
that had to be paid. Unfortunately, this homeowner was going to walk away with about $3,000 from the sale of the house, but they did not, because we had to use that money for the water bill, and she was okay with that. At least we were able to pay off her other judgment, and now she doesn't have anything in her credit. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So yeah, so holding cost is about $6,000. That we're paying. This property right here, guys, we don't have any of our own money into it. We use 100% private lenders here for this deal. So we're paying interest about $1,000 a month on that. We only own that house for about 4 months. Not even 4 months. We actually bought it in March. So it's, I guess 2 months.
I don't know if they caught that, but that means you're going to spend $2,500 out of pocket.
It's going on 2 months right now. May 16th is going to be 2 months. Repairs. I mean, $5,000 in repairs. That's, we spent a couple of grand to get all the garbage that was out of the house. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that we don't touch anything. We haven't touched anything else. We're not planning on fixing properties in this market. We're just selling it up. The price, after repair value. So right now the house is not listed yet. And reason why it's not listed is because sometimes when it comes to a short sale, some of you guys might have heard about this, they come with a deed restriction that you cannot sell the property for 90 days. And those deed restrictions come with the land that you cannot, you're not going to be able to sell it for a profit larger then they give you the number. Once you do when you're doing the short sale, they give you the deed. The deed has the amount of money that you can sell it for. So you can sell the house within 90 days, but there's only a certain amount of profit that you can sell it for.
Oh, okay. So keep that in mind, guys. Yeah.
After 90 days, you can sell it for whatever you want, as long as someone's willing to buy. So our potential profit on these deals is $53,500 if we sell the house for that 170, which I think is pretty reasonable in today's market.
Nice. That's a good profit, but not much out of pocket in a couple of months. Not much work.
Most of the work that went into this was doing the short sale. It took us about 4 months to do the short sale, and meeting with the seller, talking to the bank, presenting documents, doing that whole process.
Wow. And again, you learned all. If you didn't know how to, let's say you were a lay person and you just came across this deal, would you be able to do that? Would you be, knowledgeable enough to run into a deal like this without having that knowledge, knowing that you have to see, that you have to do all those scans and stuff like that? I don't think the average person would know that. Definitely get some knowledge. If it's not here, get it someplace else, because there's a lot of, especially a short sale, a lot of negotiating with the bank, a lot of paperwork they need. But,
listen, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question, because I've only known is what I know here, right? I've never tried to do real estate outside of this, but I definitely know that there are people that try to do this business. And I'll give you a quick example. This house was on the contract before we came in to purchase this house. This house was on the contract for $115,000. Right. So we are just right there. We already got a $25,000 discount from whoever was buying it before. Right. So just because of what I know and what we do, we're even buying it cheaper than other people. Right. So that's the process right there. I'm glad I learned the stuff that I did. And I know I see a lot of people get tripped up with, because this could be a complicated deal for somebody that is very new, especially dealing with the short sale, dealing with a homeowner that's in distress. The situation that the seller had with the previous agent was not good. So she was very stressed out about that. So you have to calm that situation. You have to calm down bank. There's a lot of moving pieces that you need to be on top of. So I see a lot of people get in trouble with those situations.
Awesome. Listen, thank you, Jose. You guys start putting your questions in the chat. Follow Jose at his Instagram. There's Carlos is on the line as well. Jason's on the line. Follow him at Bartender J, Los Invest, Joe Styles, myself, Ron Carpe. And we're going to your questions. I know you guys got questions about how he did this. What a profit. I mean, I'm not sure if they caught how much you paid out of pocket. Not a lot. So, I mean, it doesn't say you have to have a lot of money to start investing, but you have to have the knowledge. Right? So if you don't have the knowledge, you might, it's invaluable. So any questions out there, Carlos? So Carlos on the line. Carlos, I'm sure you got a question. You are the other guru on our community. And I see questions in the chat as well coming up. Let's see. If not, I'll go to the chat line. Let's see who's in the chat boxes. Let's see. Would this be considered a full gut? Liz says. For sure, right? Jose, for sure, correct? Full gut. You guys hear me?
We hear you.
Okay, cool. There he is. You have a question, Jay?
Sure. I can always ask a question. What's up, Big Jose? I didn't get to chime in with you, but listen, you guys don't know Jose. This guy, he's definitely a plethora of knowledge. He got started within this community a little before me, but I know when I came in, I must say that he was one of the guys that would just go against what people talked about doing deals in New York and New Jersey, like you couldn't do it. Because I remember we got to get some deals, and this guy was always inspiring us. Like this guy would always have a deal. Oh, Jose about to have a property tour. Jose's got another deal. Jose. And we were like, all right, we got to step our game up. This guy's doing too many deals, right? So I said, all right, we definitely got to get on it and get like him. So I must say, man, Jose, you're definitely inspiring, a motivational guy. Appreciate you. And if you guys don't know, Jose even does, he gives back every single Thursday evening. He actually does the introduction training for our city team. So big up to Big Jose, appreciate him. But my question, let's get into the question.
Appreciate it, man.
My question is, how on earth would you understand that you could only put 5,000 worth of repairs into this property and just throw it on the market looking the way it looks? Like, are you an agent? Are you an investor? Like, who are you, bro? Talk to me. I need to understand this. And I'm pretty sure everybody else does too.
Listen, I'm just somebody that's been doing this for a couple of years, man. I know my area, I know my market. I am an agent. I'm a real estate agent as well. And the way we're so confident. I mean, we're in a unique situation in this marketplace where, like I mentioned, I prefaced the whole thing where saying that if you're buying properties on the MLS, you're already paying too much. Right. And the reason I said that is because I'm not the only investor that's doing this. And where people that know how to buy properties and find them off market and know how to negotiate the discounts are making money hand over fist right now all over the country because they're getting to the properties before anybody else. And that in real estate investing, that is always the key, always the golden nugget, getting to the property before anybody else. And that's what we did. So like I mentioned before, we got this property even $25,000 cheaper than the previous person that was on the contract for this house. And that was before COVID. Before COVID, this house was on the contract. COVID hit, whatever happened with them, they walked away from the deal. Now, the house sat there for months after that. And so the seller was frustrated. And that's how it was, man. So right now, if you have that ability to find properties off market, you can make some good money without having to fix it. You find some, you put it up on the MLS. There's a shortage of inventory. People want to buy houses. Okay. Mortgage prices are ridiculously low. That house, if we were to fix that house, if we were to go and spend, I don't know, 125,000 into that house, we can sell that house for somewhere around 350. Okay. We can sell that house for somewhere around 350. And some of you guys are saying, well, why don't you just do that? Because time is money. Time is money, right? If that property, if I'm going to go ahead, so not only do I have to borrow more money to do that deal, but now I have to wait longer. Materials are through the roof. Now, instead of getting paid in 4 months, now I'm getting paid in 9 months. And by the time that 9 months hits, I probably missed out on a couple of deals because I was trying to make money, all my money on this one deal. So this business is all about turning around and knowing the business and knowing how to work, knowing how to move. So that's it, man. That's just a little bit of experience over the last several years that have come together for me with my business partner and the things we're doing and brainstorming with not just myself, but people, like yourself in the team and people that are doing much bigger things, So that's the power of having a community. So that's what you need to plug into that.
All right. So just to piggyback off that real quick. Now you did mention you're an agent. So my question, because there may be some other, people on the line who are like, hey, I was taught, maybe I should be an agent first, and then that's going to teach me how to start investing, and they're probably hearing that you said you're an agent as well. Let me know from you, like tell people from your experience, where you're at with it. Did you become an agent first, then become an investor? Did you become an investor first and then use the agent? Like what made you to go the route with also being an agent?
Listen, when I got introduced to, like I mentioned, when I got introduced to this community, I had no interest in real estate, nothing. As a matter of fact, my previous relation or interactions with real estate was in 2005, between 2002, 2008, one of my family members was doing really well with real estate. As a matter of fact, he was buying real estate in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then when that market was on fire, he was doing really well. We moved into a nice big house. He bought a beautiful car. He was doing his thing, as many investors, people were doing at that time. 2007, 2008 hit, over leveraged. I had to help him move out of his house. He had his car got repo, foreclosure, all those kind of things. So my experience with real estate was like, I'm not really interested in that. I see people lose everything, right? I have to start all over because of real estate. So my mind, I had no experience. And then on top of that, I didn't have no money, no credit, none of that stuff. But this community opened my mind up so much about the possibilities of what it is to be a business owner, an entrepreneur, and how to make money, that I couldn't say no, because there were so many people that I surrounded myself with, this team that were successful in real estate, that I was like, well, there has to be a way that they're doing something different. They're making money. They're making money, and they're becoming financially independent, and that's what it was. So I got myself educated first as an investor. And then what I realized was that as an investor, I knew way more about finding motivated sellers and finding business than the average real estate agent out there. And I got my real estate license because of that, to just supplement my income. I got into this business to make money. I don't care. I don't really care if it's money by flipping the house, or if I'm having to represent somebody to sell their house. This business, I got into this business to make 5 or 6 figure checks. That's it. So whatever which way it comes, that's how I get it, right? Even though we've been doing deals this year, we've been doing flips, and I have listings and I have buyers that I work with during this time, and I'm getting paid from that too. So the big challenge that people have with that, Jason, is they don't know how to disclose, or they listen to, I don't know, they get advice from people that have an agenda. Okay. And sometimes you need to make your informed decision and get a big picture of how the world, this world of real estate investing really works. Okay. There's no reason why you need to limit yourself. If you got in this business to make money in real estate, to become financially independent, and you know how to sell houses, then why not get your license? That's how I think about it anyways. I disclose, and that's it.
Nice. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, brother. Congratulations. And I know you just did that wholesale earlier,
No problem,
and made money there. So you're doing a lot, bro. Appreciate you, man. Congrats.
man. Man. Thank you. What we got? Some other question. You want me to start reading questions out from the thing, Ron? Start answering those questions.
I don't know what I'm with.
Let me see. I got it. Let's see. I'm right here. Sorry about that.
Or Carlos, Joe, do you guys got questions?
Let's
Let's
see.
open it up. Let's open up for
Oh,
that.
Tamara says, how did you get them out? Cash for keys?
Who out? The homeowner or the squatters?
Yeah.
Oh, the squatters, like I mentioned that before, we didn't have to deal with that. The previous agent. So this house was already listed in the market with another real estate agent prior to me getting involved in this picture with this homeowner. Okay. That real estate agent had another contract. I think it was right around the time that COVID hit, March 2020 or February 2020. They didn't perform because of COVID. I guess they used that as a reason why they didn't want to close, like many people did. Listen, at that time, many people did not. During that March, April, May time, there was a lot of uncertainty at what the world was going to look like, right, during COVID. And many people just stopped and not did anything. And including myself, I took sort of like a break, so to speak, and kind of reset and try and really get to see what the world was going to do. And that's the beautiful thing about real estate, right? We had the reserves. We didn't have to worry about having to go to work, none of those things, because of this business and, the income that this has provided for us. And so I was like, you know what? We just need to chill out, relax, hit back, and that's it, and wait to see what happens. And then anyways, but that property was listed. They lost the property. They lost the situation, but they're the ones that took care of all that. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. But then they didn't perform, and then we came into the picture, and we got the property with already, it was boarded up. All we had to do was transfer the the name of the people that were going to pay that company that bores up the property. And we knew them already from other deals that we did. So they already knew what's up.
Awesome. People are saying,
So we got lucky with that, Tamara. We didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah, somebody said the door on the wall was creepy vibes.
Multiple floors. You seen that? On multiple floors. It's crazy. There was some weird nonsense going on in there.
Neville said one bath. Wow, better safe than sorry. Big house. Congrats. Neville says congrats, Jose. From Sound says great.
Thank you,
Oil tank. Tamara says oil tanks are fun. LOL.
Listen, people shy away from oil tanks. I love oil tanks because that just means I get a discount every time.
Yeah, that's true. We're using negotiation tool. Very good negotiation.
I get a discount every single time. You just gotta know how to deal with it. Even if there is contamination, you still have to know how to deal with it. Don't worry about. The numbers. It's all about numbers.
That is true. What is the square footage? Kim Sounds wants to know. Square footage.
I don't know. To be honest with you, it's got to be around 1,500. Maybe a little bit more, but it's probably around that 1,500 square foot.
Okay. Neville says 5K. Shaking my head. Got talking about the repairs. Only 5K. Ignacio says, how did you come across this deal?
Yeah, a lot of people are asking that question. How did you find
this? How did you find it?
That's a great question.
You're gonna have to be a part of the team, and I'll let you know.
Oh, wow!
You gotta get on board, and I'll teach you. And I won't teach you. I'll let you know how it works. You're gonna be taught, but you'll find out. No, I'm messing with you guys. You see, somebody got pissed right now. Somebody got, what? I'm about to leave right now.
Somebody said, I knew it.
I knew it. It was too good to be true. I'm out. So the way we got this property was, like I said, I'm a real estate agent and I'm an investor. So I'm always looking for opportunities. So we were looking for, I was cold calling expired listings. And when I came across this homeowner, I just, I worked my sales skills and started speaking to her about what we can do for her. So when I came across this house, I quickly knew there was something weird going on between the realtor and her based on what she was telling me on the phone. And once she started telling me about these things that she was experiencing were completely different than the facts, I was like, well, you need to pay attention to this. Your realtor is telling you that you're still in the contract, but you're not. They removed your property from the MLS, meaning you can go ahead and work with anyone you want right now. So she didn't know. And that's how much this realtor was bringing her along, taking her for a ride. And unfortunately, there's some realtors that they look out for themselves. They don't look out for the client. And who knows what his intentions were. I don't know what they are. I never got to speak to the guy. But there's people that just care about what they have, their own agenda, and they're looking to do whatever it is that they need to do for the house to make money. And listen, this is the power of knowing the business, right? So I told her, you need to take a look at this, and this, and this. And if you find out that this guy's playing you, are you gonna give me a call? And she I froze. She kind of like got taken back by my being straight up with her. And she was like, well, no, I can't work with someone that's playing me. And I was like, well, go do your research, go get your facts straight, and I'm gonna call you in a week. And if you got your answers right, then we're gonna start working together, right? And she said, yep. I let her go. She went through all these things that she had to go through. She got her answers. As a matter of fact, I even got her on the phone with the bank to speak, to get to hear from the bank directly that there was nothing going on with the short sale. And that was like, the final straw. And then that's how we got the business. So cold calling expires. Most real estate agents, that's what they do. I was calling expires to make cash offers for houses. I use the same things that realtors use to get listings to get those same properties, but instead of making 4,000 or 5,000, we're making whatever 50 grand on this one. right? But because I'm a realtor, I also was able to list it. I was also able to do the short sale on this. We also got paid from the bank to do our own short sale, and we're selling it ourselves. So it's a beautiful thing. So I don't know why people shy away from having their license.
All right. Let's see what else. Carlos, I saw you online. You want anything you want to ask, Carlos? Before I go to the more of the guests.
No, I don't really got much. I don't dare ask questions when Jose's on. I let him
Really? You careful?
Guru versus guru.
Yo, Carlos, we got. I was over by that house, man. You sold on Cross Avenue today. We're getting that one, man. 6 months, bro. It took some.
Oh yeah. I remember you asking me about that. Like
6 months to negotiate that one. We're getting that one.
I had a nice, unique oil tank experience with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do got one question, man, because you mentioned that you wasn't even looking for real estate, right? It just popped in front of you and you decided to pursue it. And a lot of us that get into real estate actually search for a way to get into real estate, right? We're always trying to find a way to get our foot in the door. And I know a lot of folks who I speak to always have a misinterpretation of what they should focus on first to get their foot in the door. As someone who knew nothing about real estate and it landed in your lap, what was the first thing you really focused on to get your first deal? So a lot of folks look for cash buyers first. A lot of folks look for money first. A lot of folks look for, free information. Like what, as someone who was not looking to get into business and actually got into business and has been pretty successful with it, what was your focus? What was the first thing you started focusing to get your first deal?
That's that deep thought question right there. You wanted me to dig deep, Carlos, huh? No, man, that's a great question, man. That I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I've always, like I said from the beginning, I've always had a business mindset mentality. I've always been entrepreneur minded, and I just saw people making money in this business, and I just spoke to them about what, number one, I took the training and I took the classes. And when I took the classes, when I purchased these classes, I was like, and we all see people selling stuff to people, all the time, right? We're all presented with all these different things that we can buy, and they're too good to be true, right? Or they're going to change your world. And, guys, I grew up in Brooklyn. So when people trying to sell me stuff, I already have, that wall up. And when I got introduced to this, it was just, let me see, because I was like, you know what? I wasn't really expecting too much out of the situation. And I took the classes and I was blown away. And I was like, right then and there, I knew right there. I was like, oh, snap. This is how people make money. Wealthy people. They know these things that the average person doesn't know. And I was like, this is crazy. I can use my money for retirement from IRAs. I can do all these different things, right? And do my taxes differently. Save money on taxes by writing everything. I didn't know none of those things. But the first thing I decided was, to answer your question, Carlos, I decided to get my real estate license because I knew how to find deals. Right? I learned how to find deals. And this whole business is all about the deal. It's all about the deal. If you know how to find off-market deals, then the strategies, you can work those strategies into the transaction. But you have to find the seller. So the product that we have is motivated sellers. That's what we find. That's what the whole thing is. And then from there, I decided, what, at the time I didn't have no money, no credit. I used to ask people to partner up with me and, borrow my friends, my boys and family members, partner up with me and do real estate. They used to laugh at me, right? They didn't want nothing to do with that. I'm sure some of you guys have experienced that, right? I mean, I got my friends, they've seen me pass out on their couch after a long night. They're like, hell no, I'm not lending you no money. You know what I mean? We all got those kind of friends, right? But at the end of the day, and it's not up to them to help me, right? It is up to you as the investor, as the business owner, as the person that's trying to become financially independent to figure it out, right? To figure the hell out for yourself and go out and do it. So I just took action. And if I wasn't gonna I didn't have capital. I tried to do the wholesale thing at the time. I was so new. I had so many questions that I didn't know how to focus on it. And I was like, I figured, like, you know what? I'm just gonna make money however I can. And if they're gonna say no to wholesaling, if they're gonna say no to my creative offer, I'm gonna offer to list the house. Screw it. And I just started doing that. And I started sending out mailers as a real estate agent to people that were facing foreclosures. And I started getting listings for short sales. And those short sales, I started converting those short sales into investment properties. And once I did one or two of those, I had to sell a couple of them to other investors. So that way, and then once I had those numbers and that kind of track record of, I can find good deals, then I started having a better conversation with people that have money that I knew. And they started seeing me, right? Because it wasn't like, when the beginning, it was like, you just got into real estate and you wanted me to give you $100,000. Like, you don't know anything about real estate. After a couple of years, it was like, well, okay, well, now I have this, this, and this. You either in, or I'm going to go get my money somewhere else. So do you want to make money with me, or should I give my money to somebody else? And it was a different conversation. So that's kind of how I started from the business, right? I mean, I had, at the time when I got started, there was no community out here. There was nothing. There was no team in Jersey. Everything was in New York. So it was kind of like building everything from the bottom, from the ground up. And I did have the support. When I did have questions, though, I would call the people in the team and get the answers and just take action. And that was my kind of my roadmap, I guess, if we can say, from the beginning, for how I got started. I got my license and I was gonna get listings. I got short sales, and then I went from there.
So you got a license, and basically, so you didn't open up an LLC first?
I already had an LLC from my other business, but yeah, I had the cell phone repair business, so I had that LLC. But no.
Yeah, and I say that with me in mind, because when I got started back in like 2009, that's what I did. I thought I was official, LLC official, right? I'm in the game now. I'm a serious investor, and you still have all the the struggles and hurdles because you just don't know what to do. But I got an LLC, right? And I still got my first LLC book right up there. I keep it for memory.
Nice. Nice.
In your buyers list?
I got a nice little book, dude. It cost me $2,000 to set up the LLC, and we all know it doesn't cost $2,000 to set up the LLC, right?
It's $130, something like that in Jersey, man.
Man, I didn't know.
Jersey.
I got sold. They sold $2,000. Hey, but it looks good. That was a nice little book. I got a little corporate stamp and everything.
Oh, nice.
Back in 2008. It doesn't work anymore. It's closed down, but it's a reminder on what we focus on initially, trying to get in. And oftentimes we don't focus on the right things.
Yeah, man, it was just investing in myself. It was investing in myself, investing in the knowledge. I invested in this training, and then I invested to get my license. Guys, that's like a $2,000 investment, right? And then after that, when you start going out there and doing deals, you're still paying because you're splitting that with the broker, or you know what I mean? So you're always paying. Oh, if you're in business, if you're in real estate, you're always paying, no matter what it is, right? You're always going to pay something. So if you're not okay with that, then you're not in the right. You shouldn't be thinking about real estate.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's as simple as that. If you're looking to skim, $500, $1,000 here, look, you shouldn't be in business. You shouldn't be in real estate. You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay everybody, attorneys, inspectors, realtors. Everybody's they're all gonna get paid, and that's it. That's the business.
It always blows my mind away when people talk about how to get started. There's no business out there where you're not going to have to invest in something. You got to put money out there somehow, in some form. You're going to come out the pocket, and people just don't realize that when you start a business, that's the situation. So I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna turn it back to Ron and the folks online and see if they got any questions. Hey, congrats, Jose. I don't know how many times I can tell you congrats. It's kind of getting repetitive, and I'm quite tired of telling you congratulations, to be honest. I'm not coming to your property tours no more.
No problem. No problem.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I told you, man, this
I
guy.
mean,
Listen,
you
listen.
motivate me every time I see you on here. And I gotta start-
Carlos, we're gonna do the one. We're gonna do the one on Cross Avenue for you, bro. I'm gonna invite you to that
Yeah, I
one.
want to go to that one.
Yo, that one got an oil tank too in the front, man.
You love the way he loves it.
I got a good connect for you if you need one.
That's why I asked you, bro. It's all
He hooked me
seriousness.
up big time too.
All
I don't know if you know the
seriousness.
background, but the guy hooked me up big time.
Yeah, we know. We all
Yeah.
know. It's festival. So what's next,
All
Ron?
right. Good stuff. Oh man, I love it. I love it. I love the camaraderie, man. This is beautiful within the community. I hope everybody's understanding and feeling this. It's the love, the camaraderie, the competitiveness, inspiring each other to do more is always great, man. So actually, I got one. Bernadette had asked, what do you do with the property while it's waiting in the 90 days that you have before you could throw it on the market, throw it out there?
So great question. So really nothing. Just making sure that nobody breaks in, and it's still it's still there. You know, by the time the next buyer comes, that's really it. We typically just clean up the house. I don't know if you guys were in the back on the whoever may have came to the one that we did previously, the one that I did in Elizabeth. We just clean up the house and make sure that if it wasn't for the 90 days, this property would have been probably sold by now. But we just make sure that nobody breaks in, right? Shovel the snow. We didn't even shovel the snow. I feel bad about that. But just make sure that it's still there, and that's it. Clean it up. Wait for the time to come to list it. We're actually listing it tomorrow night. It'll be live next week. So if anybody here want to buy it, you know the number.
How beautiful it is.
Shameless, nice plug.
There you go.
Shameless plugs. Love it.
It could be a good rental for the right person.
Kingsley wants to know, what's your process for finding deals? How much does it cost? We kind of just talked about that. But that's how he finds. He just kind of gave you his process on that. Sheldon wants to know, what funding strategy source did you use for this deal? That's a good question.
Funding strategy, he said?
Or source, strategy/source. Like,
Okay.
how'd you fund it? You said private money, I guess.
Yeah, so just to answer that quick one that you asked before, I mean, we do everything, cold calling, mailers, online, word of mouth, everything, you know. So we spend money on getting deals.
So wait, you spend money again just to get your deal? Like you're putting money out there?
Wait.
It's not free.
No. We invest a lot of money in tools and marketing.
Awesome.
The deal, the spending, the finance option that we did was private money. We borrowed money from other people that have money, private people just like you and I, that have their money sitting somewhere that don't have anything to do with the money, that, you know, are fortunate enough to know someone that invests in real estate and can make them some interest. Then that could be due.
Okay, so Jeffrey says, so your deal was more of a wholesale, not a wholesale?
Exactly right. Exactly right. It's like, you know, we're practically wholesaling properties but not really wholesaling them, because we are taking ownership. So we're actually doing like a double closing on
double close, right? It's like a double close.
So we're getting such good numbers on these properties. It makes no sense to just wholesale it for a $10,000 fee. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. So we just rather we close on it and be able and go and put it on the market and make that kind of money. But that comes down to, you know, the ability to have cash to borrow from people. Before COVID, we were doing everything with hard money lenders, costing us an arm and a leg, you know, and it's a part of business, right? It's a part of business. And I was happy borrowing money from them because they were lending me the money and I can do the deal. Mm-hmm. But after COVID, most of it has been private money.
With a wholesale, Jose, right? I mean, I've never done, not a wholesale, short sale. With a short sale, the bank is typically not going to allow you to sign the contract, right? I mean, I've never done a short sale before, but. you're not going to be able to wholesale it anyways. You got to take title.
We'll have, that's a separate conversation. There's many ways around those. There's attorneys.
Yeah.
There's ways around it. Mm-hmm.
True. I mean, you can sell an LLC.
You can sell the LLC. You got to find a good attorney.
Yeah.
That's willing to do that. And damn, now you guys can make me jealous. You got Joe. Why you put that shirt up there, man? I don't got my shirt.
Shift.
Man, I registered late. I don't got a shirt, man. They didn't send me a shirt.
Carlos with his, and I was just like,
I got mine.
Like, yeah, I got mine.
Yeah.
I got every year. I got one except for this year.
You guys are slacking. You guys are slacking.
Seriously.
Mine just came today. I got mine.
I got mine yesterday. Yeah.
Man.
All right. Ratanya wants to know, how do you find the deals?
Oh, is that Ratanya?
That's
Ratanya. I know you, Ratanya. Yo, listen, guys. If you guys want to if you have properties, I just want to confirm that's the same Ratanya.
Ratanya.
She said hi, Jose. I think
that's her. What's up? What's up, girl? Listen, guys. If you guys are looking for a broker price opinion, or somebody that gives you an accurate idea of what houses are worth in New Jersey, hit up Ratanya.
Okay,
I don't know if she wants to put out her business phone number out there or whatever it is, but I know there's a lot of people in here that are looking for that BP. There she goes. There it goes, right?
There it is.
She does BPOs in New Jersey, and if you have any questions about finding out what a property is worth, she knows her thing. She's been doing this for years. And that's, hit her up. But her question was, how do I find the deals?
Yeah, how do you find the deals?
I mean, this property, like I mentioned, I called it expired. I was calling expired listings, and that's how I got this property. But normally we find deals from direct mail. That's our bread and butter. We do direct mail. And we send mailers to people that are in all kinds of situations. People that own properties that are vacant, people that own properties that are free and clear and vacant, people that are behind on taxes, people that are in foreclosure, people that inherited houses, all those different situations, right? And that's how, and then they just call us up, and then we go from there. We schedule, we have our way of speaking to them about the business, and that's it. As a matter of fact, this is a small world. And that's what kind of like, damn, I guess I've been doing real estate for some time, because Ratanya, she was actually hired by the bank to do this property. I don't know if you realize that, Ratanya. This is the house that you came to do the BPO on for the bank. So she came to do the bank. So when you're buying a house for the bank, they send their own appraiser or BPO to make sure that the house is worth it, it's worth or is close to what we're offering. So good looking out. Thank you, Ratanya. Yeah, she came out. She remembers. Yeah, she came out. She saw that she did the BPO on that, and it all worked out good.
Nice. Small world.
Small world. Yep. Small world.
All right. Sawatu said it's all about the multiple revenue streams. Naji says, congrats. Swati says, because you're a real estate agent, you're a real estate professional, all your activities and expenses can be written off. Absolutely. Ryan says, how did you find this deal? We just talked about that. When did you find the deal? When did you find it, Jose?
So it must have been sometime in September of last year. September. Somewhere between August and September, and we finally got it on the contract in around October.
Okay, so now Ryan goes a little deeper with the question. So he says, how are you sure that you could be able to do the deal, only basically putting out the $5K in repairs, by the time you actually took possession of it? Meaning, like, how did you know back then when you acquired it, like what the market would look like and still be performing like today in the future?
Well, we don't know, right? We don't know because we can't see the future, but we make our offers based on facts. And the facts are, there's no house in Newark and North Newark selling for anywhere near 90,000. right? You know, and then we have comps that are around that price, 170. You know, we got comps around between 150 and 170. So around that area for that same kind of property. So again, this goes down to buying the houses and negotiations, right? So if you make your money when you buy the house. So if you buy it at enough discount, there's no there's in my opinion that you can't go wrong. The house next door, as a matter of fact, the house next door sold for about 280 or 300 or something like that. So we already knew it. We buy the house for 90. We already know we're making money. And he sold it previous, you know, to the market. He sold it off market, which was a bad move for him because he lost money by not putting it on the market.
Right.
And I'm telling you, people just don't know. they just don't know. They think they know, but they don't. So he cost himself money by not putting it on the market. So he was probably thinking, you know, I got to buy it right here. I'm just going to sell it and, you know, I get my money out. You know, and some people just, you know, don't want to pay a 5%, 6% commission, and they lose out on tens of thousands of dollars for that.
Yeah.
So when I saw that comp next door for 280, I first of all, I already knew that comp was low because he renovated the whole entire house brand new. So I knew that house was worth over 300 in that area of Newark. And that's it. It's all about numbers and facts.
And knowing your market.
Your
market. Yeah, you know your market.
I mean, the market could turn around tomorrow or whatever, months from now. We may, you know, this property right here, because we bought it for so cheap, we can, if it does come out that the market, something happens, whatever it is, we can hold it, right? We can hold it. We can even fix bait, you know, put lipstick on a pig and rent it out. Refinance, get our money out. The house is still going to be worth money.
Yeah. Right.
So you have to have exit strategies too, you know?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Multiple exit strategies, not just one, not hoping.
Nice. So
and like Jason always says, profits are produced at
purchase. Yes, profit is produced at purchase. He definitely mentioned that. All right. Kim says, as far as short sales, you stated that you can only sell the property for so much. Is that every state, or is that only in Newark?
I only done short sales in New Jersey. From my understanding, it is a federal guideline or mandate, however you want to call it, for specific mortgages. I think it was Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, whatever. So don't quote me on where that comes from, but it's a federal mandate for some banks or requirements to put those deed restrictions on those houses that are done short sales. It depends on the lender that the homeowner has. That's very lender specific and the type of mortgage that they had. That's where it comes down from, because we've done many short sales where they don't give you a deed restriction, where we can go and sell it for whatever you want the next day.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. But there's some mortgages, some banks that they have to put that by law.
Yeah, I think it's for FHA type loans.
Yeah,
I think it's a FHA thing.
Yep.
All right. Ignacio says, I have a single family home, want to become financially independent, but every real estate book I read makes real estate seem like a long-term investment with modest cash flow. Seems like a slow route to be financially dependent. I'm glad to hear Jose's reason for getting into real estate, because that's my reason too. Do you have anyone in Arizona?
Huge team in Arizona.
Huge team in Arizona.
Huge team in Arizona.
Huge. Good question. Get with whoever invited you. They could plug you in with the Arizona team. They're huge out
there.
Yeah. Kim San says that's good. Rodrigo says, I always stay away from Newark. He's gonna step it up there. How can we partner up with you if we come across anything?
What's that?
He wants to know how he could partner up with you if he comes across anything.
Listen, it's very difficult to partner up with me if you're not doing something, if you're not part of the team, to be honest with you. You know,
restrictions. You got to know what you're doing. If he's already doing deals in there, he knows the market. You stepping it up. He's already stepped up.
So I mean, that's one of those, and you know, I'm not gonna pick on you or say that I'm gonna pick on that answer on that question, but you know, that's one of those things that I'm guilty of. I not guilty, but that's how I was thinking in the beginning myself. I'm gonna find a deal and I'm gonna partner up with somebody and do the deal with them. Do you know how many times I offered deals to people and nobody wanted to partner up with me? Like, if you rely on that, then you know you need to figure it out on your own first. You know, not on your own first, but you need to make it work. Don't rely on other people to partner up with you to do deals. I guess that's my my answer to that. I mean, if you got a good deal, send it. We might buy it. You know what I mean? We might buy it. But in terms of partnering up with people, we generally don't do partnerships. We either buy it or, you know, you can help us sell what we have or something like that. Unless you're lending us money, then we're partnering.
William says short sale needs to be arm's length transaction. Are you listing
Yes.
it and having a separate LLC be the buyer?
Oh, guy, is that a realtor right there, or is that an attorney?
It's a specific question. Yeah.
That is correct. We do. We have a separate LLC that I'm not tied to.
Oh, good. Pauline,
But we do disclose that on the contract that I am a licensed realtor, and we have interest in the property.
cool. Pauline says real deal learning lessons. Kim says you have to spend money to make money. If you don't believe that this opportunity is not for you, thanks for coming. All right.
Wow, Kim. Tell us how you really feel.
Can
Listen,
you
but the good thing is that it doesn't have to be your money. That's what you need to understand. Real estate, it don't have to be your money.
Right. You got to bring something else to the table.
You got to bring the value.
Knowledge.
The value is the property.
Yeah. Jeanette asks a good question here. She says, so within that 90-day time frame, can you rent it like Airbnb during or some of that time?
Absolutely. So that restriction just means that you can't sell it for a profit over, I think it was like 108,000. So we could have sold it for, you know, under 108,000 or up to 108,000, and we could have sold it by now. But we know the house is worth more than that. So, but during that time, you're the owner. You can do whatever you want with the house except for sell it for above that $108,000 price.
Good question, Jeanette.
Good question, Jeanette. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin says, how much does it cost for a BPO?
That's a question for Retanya.
Throw it in the chat, Retanya.
I'm gonna tell Retanya $1,000.
This is perfect timing. Timing is great.
Might as well get an appraisal at that price.
She said depends 50 to 100,000.
100,000. Listen, if she got to travel far, man, you better hook her up.
Okay. One more question. Jeffrey asks, how much would need to be put into this property to get that 300K ARV?
That house, I mean, that you guys saw the video, man. That's $120,000 renovation.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's why we're not doing it.
Easy.
You know,
Easy.
that's why we're not doing it, guys. I love fixing and flipping houses. You get a beautiful product at the end. Some houses, you know, they come out beautiful. Right now in my business and my business model is just turn over the money and continue and move on to the next, right? Because like I said, when you do it, fix and flip is great. It's cool, you know. Right now, I think my money is better served buying more properties and selling them than having my money tied up for 6 to 9 months. And right now, I really don't know what's going to happen at like 6 to 9 months from now. It's such an uncertain market. Like this, 100%, honest with you guys, disclosure, holding this property for 90 days is way out of my comfort zone for this market, for this property. Like I can't wait for 90 days to come quick enough to get rid of this.
That's big.
Yeah, but the money's there and the deal is there. Listen, in real estate, you got to take risk. If you don't take no risk, you ain't making no money at the end of the day, right? So we put our best effort on that. But again, I can't wait till that 90 days to come.
I don't blame you, bro.
Get that money out. We have other properties right now that money's stuck in there. We could go and but now we have to find other lenders.
All right. And then he says the 170K ARV was an as-is price, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Right. Tamara says you got to bring some value, correct? Ratanya told about her price. Rodrigo is back. He said, do you buy from wholesalers?
Yes.
And then William.
But listen, I'll give you one quick tip about that. If I buy from wholesalers, but I'm very hard on you guys, man, because if I get a wholesale email, I get an email from a property, and that there's just the numbers don't make sense, man. You're done. I'm not opening your email again.
That's true.
Like,
we all do that.
That's
true.
great.
One shot.
Listen, I tell people that all the time. Like dudes are like, yo, I'm a wholesaler. So so let's connect, and I'll send you some wholesale deals. I'm like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. You got one chance. You send me one deal. And if the numbers is terrible, then we're wasting each other's time, because so many beginning wholesalers, they're just throwing you stuff. The numbers don't make any kind of sense. It's like, where'd you even get this stuff from? Or they don't even give you all the information. Like they don't tell you, they don't have all the numbers in it. They're just trying to make a quick buck. So beginning wholesalers, you definitely an investor's gonna definitely be rough on you. So don't take it personal. Just understand, like Jose keeps mentioning, right? The time is money. So if we're wasting time looking at something that just doesn't make sense, you're not making any money, right? So, and then William, that goes to you as well. He says, how can we connect to send you deals? Like it's the same situation.
Guys, that's why we're doing this, and that's why this is open for people to get involved with our team. There's a reason we have a team and a community, and the reason why, as you see, the relationship we have with each other, we mess around, but at the end of the day, we make money together. Right? We make money together. And, I had a question for Carlos about a property that I'm buying a couple of blocks from the house that he did. That's community right there. And he told me like the ins and outs of what to do if I run into the similar situation that he did. If I didn't have Carlos in this community, I would have had to figure that out somewhere else, or have to pay somebody else, an attorney, or have to figure it out the hard way, which cost me tens of thousands. Right, but hey Carlos, this is it. What you do there? And he didn't tell me like, no, I don't want to tell you this, or he didn't hold nothing back. He was like, this is how it worked, and I was like, all right, good, thank you, I appreciate you, man. So I owe you coffee, son, man.
Well, if you owe me a coffee, I think we had that conversation like 6 months ago.
Listen, it's COVID, man. I can't. I ain't meeting.
Oh,
with
COVID! I got you. I got you.
But that's the power of the community, right? So when you're part of the team, right? That's why we're building this team, and that's why we want people that want to be a part of this team and make money with our team. Right. So you can listen. We all, as human nature, we always try to get the best. We always try to not commit to something, but get the benefits from it. Right? That's our human nature, right? We want to do things. That's how it works, right? We want to get the benefits from something without having to commit to it. And that, to me, for me to deal with that kind of mindset, it doesn't work no more.
Yeah.
I want to work with business owners, people that are serious, people that are 100% committed to becoming financially independent, and 100% committed to making that happen and overcoming obstacles, and have experience like I have experiences, because we all had bad experiences. I had break-ins, I had money losses, not in deals, but in construction things. I've had all these obstacles, but now, I don't I just want to share that with the people that are committed, just like me.
Yes, indeed. We're
I
all
want to add to
vested.
that.
We are all vested together, man.
That's it.
That's it. That was the last question.
Perfect timing too.
Perfect timing.
Bonus, man.
Perfect time. We're right on time. That's it. 3:30. Our time is up.
Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for all your questions. And one last question. If you have one last question, I'll give you 1 minute to put it in. If not, that's it. We'll thank Jose. You guys have a great, you have a great weekend. Of course, you do too. I'm gonna thank my team, my co-presenters, Joe and Jason and Carlos, the guru. Again, thank Jose for sharing that, man. Listen, it's you can make money without even having to flip the deal, and he's got it. Had to hold it for 90 days, but again, there was a lot of little intricacies that he had to know about the short sale process to understand it, and how to deal with the tank, the oil tank. And he, as you can hear, he loves those kind of problems because he treats it and uses it as a negotiation tool. And again, he learned that all through our community and our team. If you want to get in contact with any of our community members here, their information's here. This is Jose. Again, follow him. You want to send deals, send him deals. But again, he already told you ahead of time, make sure your numbers look good. Make sure your numbers are right. Again, for you wholesalers out there, please learn how to present a deal. Let the investor know how much he's going to make. Give him a lot of details. Make sure it's really detailed. If not, never get a response again. Follow Jose.
I'm gonna give 2 seconds, bro. I just want to tell those wholesalers. I'll give you guys some good value real quick, 2 seconds.
Sure.
If you're gonna present a deal, we need comps, accurate repair contractor estimates, not what you think, accurate numbers, right? If you're new, you need to get estimates from real contractors, real estimates, comps, appraisals. If you don't have comps, if you don't have all those things, due diligence, oil tank sweeps, everything that has to do, if you have title, if you have survey, all of that stuff. As a wholesaler, you need to think about that property that you're wholesaling, that if you don't wholesale it, you're buying it yourself. You have to do all that kind of work to be considered, in my opinion, somebody that I can mess with, right?
So you want the wholesaler to spend money? Oh man. Oh.
Not spend money. Like
I'm messing with you.
You don't have to
spend money. That's the myth. That's the myth.
Yeah. No, you need. That's what they said, that you don't need money, right? Yeah. Okay. keep doing that.
Yeah, you got to invest in your knowledge some way, the time or effort or something. Some way it's going to cost you.
Yeah, but if I have to spend an hour to figure all that stuff out, it better be a banging deal.
And that's how they own their wholesale fee, right? They got to do the.
That's how you own it, right? That's how you get the value. That's
people
when you
just want to hand over addresses and then you do the work and then expect 10 grand assignment fee. I was like, come on, guy, I did all your work for you. You just gave me an address.
Yeah, they're like, here's the address. I think this is the ARV. And I'm like, all right, do you want it?
Yo, I'll give you guys the best story that I had, right, for a wholesaler was, there was a property on Craigslist. I saw it on Craigslist. They saw it on Craigslist. They called me about it and tried to charge me like $20,000 more for that same house. And they're saying it's a wholesale deal off market. I was like, oh, come on, man.
I get emails from
that's what wholesaling's come down to. Like, you crazy.
Sometimes I get emails from 3 or 4 wholesalers trying to wholesale the same property. You can see the change of, and I just delete all those emails.
The daisy chain.
The daisy chaining is.
I can't. I like, don't even.
It's real out there, man. It's real out there, man, for people that don't know how to do it, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it.
Close it out.
Jose, thank you, brother. Appreciate you all the time. Great tour.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me. I'm glad I was able to
Numbers
some value for you guys and the people that are here. And like I said, man, get on board so we can do more deals together.
Yes, sir. Ron, you want to do the rest of the stuff?
Yes, sir. So follow Jose, follow Lil Carlos, Jason, Joe, myself. Most of them are full-time investors. I'm not there yet, but soon will come. We have 11 learning paths. So if your short sale is not your thing, you can always learn about buy and hold, fix and flip, wholesaling, like we said, learn how to present the deals, multifamily, short-term rentals. Got Tamara on the line. She's cash flowing. a short-term rental if you've been on that tour as well lately, and 11 more: business management, commercial, tax liens, tenant, tax liens, seller finance notes, wealth acceleration, and then you retire in real estate. Another learning path. Again, you want to learn more about that? Come to my introduction tomorrow. Get a 30-foot view of our community, our team, how you can get connected. Ask the person who invited you, like, hey, I want to learn more about you guys. Talk about the team, talk about the systems. I want to know what that's like. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., I'll be there sharing you our community and what we do and how we do it. If you've been through the process already, you want to have more questions about the learning paths and how to get started in your business, go to our follow-up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. If you can't make it, maybe it's the Lord's Day tomorrow. So Tuesday night, Jason does the same introduction as well on 7 p.m. on Tuesday.